Hi guys, my name is Quinn Alexis, and I'm one of the founders of Friday Pickleball. Friday was created with the intention of supporting pickleball players' love of the game by helping them get the most out of their paddles. So this is our team. It's me and the other co-founders. Name's Miles. We both started playing pickleball in the fall of 2019, and this is actually us this past week in Florida, playing at a USAPA tournament. Miles has a lot of experience in the sports equipment and recovery industry, and I'm currently in the entrepreneurial management program at BYU. So the pain that we're setting out to address is basically the edges of pickleball paddles are getting scratched, and besides just making the paddle not look as good, it can actually cause a lot of damage to the paddle itself and affect its performance. And so if these edge guards get scratched and just get a lot of wear and tear on them, they can actually fall off, like break and fall off, and it leaves the edge of the face of the paddle, which is super fragile, actually. It leaves that vulnerable, which isn't good. And this is a huge price to pay since paddles are now exceeding $200 as the sport's growing. So it's definitely something you want to avoid, breaking your paddle if it's something you can do. So we weren't the only ones frustrated with our paddles taking a beating. We visited multiple courts, pickleball courts throughout Provo, Orem, Spanish Fork, Linden, and Salt Lake, and we concluded that about 20% of everyone's pickleball paddles had been modified to include some sort of covering over the paddle's edge guard to prevent scraping and scratches and such. This These coverings mainly consisted of electrical tape, tennis racket tape, Pro-Lite tape, and duct tape. And this Pro-Lite tape is actually the only tape on the market that's meant to cover the edge guards of pickleball paddles. So currently it'd be our only competitor. So our solution, we want to make a pickleball paddle edge guard protection tape that covers the perimeter of paddles and protects them from scrapes and scratches. And having these protection tapes available in different colors and designs will allow players to also customize their paddle. And we are looking for a tape that is durable, flexible, nice and sticky, but also doesn't leave any residue on your paddle when you take it off. Just easy to apply, and then we need our tape to be a specific size so it can fit pickleball paddles, and then in various colors like I mentioned. So, do people want our edgeguard tape? That's a huge question that we need to answer. And we thought from our experience with other pickleball players covering their edge guards in other, various types of tape that have purposes other than covering paddles, we thought that was a huge green light for us, saying, yeah, people need a tape that fulfills this purpose, and they're not aware of the one that is currently being offered. And so we think we have some room in the market right now. And then during our prototyping stage, we also had 10 people approach us at the courts, and they'd ask us about our tape, and say how much they loved it, which was pretty cool to see. A huge second question about desirability also involves Pro-Lite, our competitor. So why hasn't Pro-Lite been more popular? And we believe it's because they aren't really focusing on selling their edge guard protection tape, because they're mainly focused on selling paddles, bags, and apparel, so bigger ticket items. And they just simply don't really market their tape at all. You kind of have to really dig in their website to go find it, and it's only available in red, white, and black, and a huge A majority of the questions and comments and ratings on the ProLite website underneath their edge guard protection tape involved these people wanting the product in other colors, not just red, white, and black. So feasibility. Are we able to make the tape, and can it address the problem? Similar products exist in other sports like tennis, racquetball, badminton, ping pong. So tape the ones pictured here are all examples of tennis racket head protection tape. And so it's definitely not out of the question whether this tape can be made. So our big issue is just deciding what kind of tape with what we want, considering different materials and adhesives. So after a long process of trying a bunch of different samples from manufacturers in China and the US, we decided upon a polyurethane tape backing with an acrylic adhesive. We felt that this tape fit our needs the best. And it's also very great for resisting abrasion. Viability. Can this be profitable? As you could see from our numbers, we're using a high estimate for the cost of tape, which is 90 cents a unit. And so given that cost of tape and packaging, and then a markup of 5 times that cost, we think we can profit $11.20 per 3-pack. And then given the total addressable market, which is data from just last year, there's 3.3 million US pickleball players with 1.3 million as core players, which means that they play at least 8 times a year. And just capturing 10% of this core market means almost $2 million in revenue, which is about 1.5 million in profits. And this doesn't really even take into consideration repeat purchases. Here's our lean canvas. It kind of summarizes my presentation up until this point and talks about our problem, solution, key metrics, cost structure, unique value proposition, revenue streams, channels, unfair advantage, and customer segments. One thing I want to highlight is that under our unfair advantage, we honestly, even though we do have a competitor that has beat us to the market, we still do have a early mover advantage. Our next steps are to launch ad campaigns to gauge interest, negotiate with manufacturers, and order for shipment. Thank you.